good day. Welcome to Core English for Senior High School, Form 3, Lesson 32. The lesson is Summary. Today's topic is Basic Principles of Summary. In Form 2, you learned that a summary is a condensed or shortened statement of the ideas in a book, article, or speech. You also learned that the type of summary considered for your level is the single sentence condensation. Here, you are taught to write a sentence to state the main idea expressed in a text. Finally, you learned that it is important to read the text carefully before you answer the questions on it. In this lesson, you are going to learn about the basic principles governing summary writing. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to 1. Substitute lengthy expressions with shorter sentences. 2. Retell the story in your own words without changing the meaning as spelled out in the original passage. 3. Identify the key idea that the question requires you to identify. Let's look at an example of what it means to summarize in a sentence. Read the following short paragraph quickly. The agile, nimble, precocious, quick brown dog expertly catapulted itself over the lazy ever sleeping brown fox for sheer fun and jollity, no more, no less. What will you say this text is about? The expected response would be a dog jumping over a fox. When substituting lengthy expressions with shorter sentences, make sure to maintain the main points or points and avoid irrelevant materials. Have you wondered why students perform poorly in summary? Well, the summary paper has become so dreadful to students that some do not even attempt it at all. And many of those who attempt it also score very low marks. A number of factors can explain the poor performance of students in the summary paper. Some of these are as follows. 1. Lack of understanding. Summary is simply about comprehension. Yet, most students do not often try to understand the passage and the questions before they attempt to answer the questions. Students should endeavor to understand the passage and the questions well before answering the questions. 2. Lack of brevity. Most students do not present their summary answers as brief as possible and straight to the point. 3. Inability of students to obey instructions. Specific instructions are given to guide students in answering the questions. These instructions must be fully obeyed. 4. Grammatical errors. Very often, answers of students come with many grammatical errors. Grammatical errors must be taken very seriously to prevent unnecessary loss of marks. Always present your answers in good written English. Here are the principles of summary. The following principles are worth noting in answering summary questions. 1. Read the passage very quickly without bothering to answer the questions on it. This will help you to get the general idea of the passage. 2. Study the questions under the passage, noting every key word and making sure you understand them in their context. This will help to do away with irrelevant materials in your answers. 3. Analyze paragraph by paragraph in your second reading, noting the salient points in each of the paragraphs. You may jot down the ideas in each paragraph as rough work as you read. If one paragraph contains 2 or more ideas, the use of transitional devices like also, another, furthermore, again, and others will help separate the different ideas. 4. Underline the sentence or sentences identified as points or possible answers to questions. These points should not be written as final answers because that would amount to lifting. 5. Respond to the questions by reflecting on the keywords in the questions and write only sentences as indicated in the questions. Let's look at a sample passage. Our land is blessed with many rich mineral resources: gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese, and oil. Mining, therefore, contributes immensely to the national income. Communities from where these resources are derived should not be adversely affected by the extraction of these minerals. Unfortunately, that appears to be the lot of many mining communities in the country, which now face poverty, deprivation, and squalor as a result of the extraction process. Here are some questions. A. In one sentence, state what appears to be the effect of mining in mining communities. Here is an expected response. A. The communities are negatively influenced. Note that if you write A, negatively influenced, B, negatively influenced communities, you would be marked wrong because answers A and B are words and phrases respectively and not sentences. 6. Summary is a reductive exercise, so lifting whole sentences or relevant points or words from the passage could cost you marks. Recompose all salient points lifted from the passage. In other words, write all your final answers in your own words, but this should have the same meaning as the points in the original passage. 7. All answers to questions should be brief and concise. Some details should be avoided when writing summary. Details such as embellishments, exaggerations, figurative expressions, idiomatic expressions, irrelevant adverbs and adjectives, examples must be avoided in summary writing. Let's take a look at the following examples on your screen. 1. The lady took French leave from work, therefore she was given her marching orders. To take French leave means to stay out without permission, so it should be avoided when summarizing. Question. A. In one sentence, state what the lady did to warrant the sack. Expected answer. The lady stayed out of work without permission. 2. The woman who received the Best Sales Girl of the Year award after working tirelessly for it has resigned. Question. B. State the main point in this sentence. Expected answer. The woman has resigned from her job. 8. Unlike comprehension, all information about the answers could be obtained from the passage. Therefore, all answers should relate to the information in the passage. 9. Avoid writing more than one sentence for a point. For example, one Saturday morning, Noyo went to the market to buy some groceries and foodstuff for the house because her mother had traveled to their hometown for a funeral. In order not to forget what she had planned to buy, she made a list of items that she would need for the house. These included milk, Milo, gari, laundry soap, oil, plantain, cassava, salted fish, corn dough, and cassava dough. Although that was her first time at the market, she was able to buy everything she needed without any difficulty. Question. C. In 4 sentences, one for each, state the items Noyo bought at the market. Here, students should make sure that they write only one sentence for a point. Expected answers. 1. Noyo bought gari. 2. She bought oil. 3. She bought Milo. 4. She bought condo. It is wrong for you to write 2 items in one sentence. Look at the examples on your screen. 1. Noyo bought garri and sugar. That is wrong. 2. She also bought oil. That too is wrong. Avoid the use of connectives and conjunctions because they make the sentence lengthier. Now, to recap what we've done in this lesson. In this lesson, we have learned that 1. A number of reasons can be attributed to the poor performance of students in the summary paper. Some of these are as follows. A. Lack of understanding. B. Lack of brevity. C. Inability of students to obey instructions. D. Grammatical errors. 2. Students must follow the basic principles of summary writing in order to score good marks. Well, that is all. I expect that you would take heed to the warning in this lesson. Bear in mind, it is so easy to throw away marks in summary, and we want to get all the 30 marks, don't we? Good. Till I come your way next time, this is Mabel Nunufio. Cheerio.